Are you interested in living in Panama City Beach, but you keep hearing about all the tourism and you want something a little bit high scale without being right there with all the mix? You've got to check out this property. Let's go see inside. One of my favorite features about this home is actually this front porch area. So you come on up here and you've got this beautiful sitting area. Right here, you got a fan, so to keep you nice and cool. If you wanted to, you could absolutely screen this in. And this area over here across the street is actually all wetlands. So this is going to be your view forever from right here. It's very private. There are no windows on the neighbor's house over here facing in, so you absolutely have this entire space. It's huge. This is the size of a bedroom. This is easily, I don't know, maybe like 10 by 11, something like that. I say that, you guys, I'm not a builder. I don't have anything memorized like that, but I would say that would be pretty safe to assume. And here we go. Beautiful entryway. As soon as we walk in, perfect spot to take your shoes off and set them to the side so that you're not tracking in everything. I love the color scheme. So the last property that we toured, it had some darker colors, which I absolutely loved, but I've always just been a fan of light color schemes with some dark pops, and this just kind of does it for me. I love these black lights with the gold on the inside. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's get into the actual floor plan. So we saw the entryway here. This is a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom property with 2,646 square feet with, I'm gonna say, 10-foot high ceilings, and each bedroom has its own ensuite bathroom, which is always super convenient. This is a Huff built in 2024. So you've got floor to ceiling tiles, built-ins in the closets. So they've done all of the, structural legwork for you. Now you just have to come in and, do some interior design stuff, maybe some pops of color on the walls. So we have a very open floor plan here. We've got the kitchen, which is super sizable, which feeds directly into the spacious living room. Really good sized living room. This space is huge. And then you've got your dining space just before the outdoor area. This over here would be your pantry. This is your kitchen, you guys. It's massive. You've got cabinets for days, and you still have plenty of space here to be entertaining. You've got your stools here that you can pull out. Over here, we've got your coffee nook, or, other beverage, depending on your style. For me, it would be a coffee nook. More storage here. Another great size bedroom. Wait till I tell you what's going on out here. You won't be able to see it right now, but it'll be good for you to know. All the bathrooms match with that floor to ceiling tile and the built-ins in the closets. I wish my house would have come with built-ins like this, the dual layer. Not all builders do that, so Huff is really good about that in this area. We are in Watersound Origins. I don't think I even told you guys. We're at 152 South Splash Drive in Watersound Origins. It's the Lake Powell West portion of the neighborhood. So we are, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes from Panama City Beach. A lot of folks, they find us by looking for Panama City Beach homes. And they're like, oh, I really like being in that area, being super close to the airport, having Pier Park, being super close to the beach. But then they see the general area of Panama City Beach and they think, maybe, just maybe, we need to look a little bit further west. And then they find us here on 30A, and that's how you guys find us. So 30A is a bit more luxurious. From this house specifically, we're about 7 minutes to the beach, and there's quite a bit of parking there. Not so much that I would risk going to the beach late. I would still get there early, but with a 7-minute drive, you're gonna beat everybody, right? Just, you know, show a little motivation in the morning. Don't be too hungover and just get over there quickly. You'll find your parking space, enjoy a whole day over at the beach. And you're only like 8 minutes to Rosemary Beach. So if you like the finer side of things, Rosemary Beach is right there. Plus you have all of the amenities that come offered with Water Sound Origins. The Publix is right there. You've got a three-par golf course, which comes with your $585 per quarter HOA fee, and it's unlimited golfing. You've got pickleball, tennis, the pool. Speaking of the pool, I'll come back to it. But anyways, you get so much, and you're still close to Panama City Beach. You're still close to the airport without actually having to be right in the mix of all of the tourism, because ultimately that's what the issue is being right next to, you know, just party people, which nothing wrong with party people, but you don't necessarily want to live right next to them. Here in Water Sound Origins, there's no short-term rentals allowed. So no Airbnb, no VRBO. It's only going to be either long-term rentals like a year, or people that are actually living here full-time, or even if they're not living here full-time, just staying 6 months out of the year, however many months out of the year, but not, you know, transients. Okay, let's get back on with the tour. So here we have the master. We've got some additional storage over here. We've got recessed lighting throughout. And the gorgeous master bathroom. We got one huge mirror going across the wall. Beautiful soaking tub. Massive walk-in shower. Floor to ceiling tile again. Water closet. I have to pause there. Is it true that in other states you guys don't have water closets? You just leave the toilet like in the bathroom, just exposed like you would in a guest bathroom? Like you guys don't do water closets in other states? If you don't, I would like you to comment down below with what state you're from, and just, you know, whether or not you guys have water closets, or if that's just like this new or odd thing to you and it's just a Florida thing. I'm curious. All right. And the master closet. Absolutely beautiful. Tons of storage. And this is a very open space right here. I mean, look at this. You could absolutely put some island item here for your jewelry or your shoe rack, and then you still have this side over here. So much room for activities. Okay, let's walk back out, and I'm going to show you the laundry room. And no, the doorknobs are not super high in Florida. You guys think you're funny. I'm just not that tall, okay? We don't have super high doorknobs in Florida. I'm only bringing this up because it was asked. It was a question that was asked in one of my videos. AJ, why are the doorknobs so tall in Florida? They're not. Okay. And last bedroom over here. And of course with an ensuite bathroom. So I think I mentioned it before, but every one of the bedrooms has its own ensuite bathroom, and then you have a half bath just for easy access. Sorry if you guys hear some shuffling there. My necklace is getting caught on my microphone again. Beautiful spacious laundry room, and then a full 2-car garage. I like that. Those came on all by themselves. I didn't have to do anything. Okay, now I want to talk to you guys about this backyard and what's going on back there. I actually have some pictures to show you. Let me see these. Since I can't just show it to you real life, I had to get some pictures to show you guys so that you can visualize what's going on back there. I'm gonna flip this around for you. Bam, this is what we are getting in the backyard. So a little bit more with the specs here. So beautiful, slightly raised jacuzzi hot tub feeding into a beautiful pool. And look, you've got the more shallow slab here so you can set out your loungers and then gently slope down into the deep end. And you still have this shelf here so you can sit on this side as well. Kids love this. Oh my gosh, they love to run back and forth and mess with this fountain portion. So this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful backyard addition to this property, coming with the current price actually. Speaking of price, that price would be $1.485 million. And let me take you out there to the back and show you what else is awesome about this backyard. I'm gonna flip you around. So we've got this beautiful sliding glass doors. So these will both slide, you know, their respective ways. And you've got this beautiful brick covered patio, screened in porch, and a sizable yard. You're looking at a 0.21 acre yard, which is actually pretty big for out here on 30A. But what's even cooler, this is all wetlands and protected property owned by St. Joe's Company. So this is always going to be your view out here. So they're turnabout put in the pool just right out here. It's going to be pretty sizable and take up a lot of the yard, but it will still leave you yard all the way around the edges. So if you have a dog, still perfect. So just imagine that you're out here soaking. I think your jacuzzi would be right about over here, and that's your view. Like, do you hear that? You can hear the fountains from the neighboring pools and the birds tweeting in the, you know, forested area. This is amazing. Here's the other thing. You've got privacy fences all along, so you can't see them and they can't see you. There's no window like right here, so no one's going to be looking at you in your pool. And it's the same thing on this side, okay? And so they're not going to be looking at your pool. Clearly, these are friends though, because they've got a gate right here. They're like, hey, let's be friends. But that also means that if you wanted to close this off completely, you've already got privacy fence on two sides and of course the back fence, so you just have to connect it to the house in the front. Not a huge expense, probably actually going to be done with the installation of the pool since it's required. But all of that to say, it's just very, very private and beautiful back here. I'll show you some of the landscaping too. Not too much, not too little, just beautiful, very simple. You do have a gas line here so that you can have your outdoor cooking area if you like to grill. I love to grill, it's the only way I can cook. I don't know about you guys, but do you feel like you just cook exponentially better when you grill your food as opposed to cooking it on the stovetop? Because I do. Okay, so let's go over some of the market stats right now so that you know what kind of market you're stepping into as a buyer here on 30A. We're in Watersound Origins, which is going to be the east side of 30A. So we're going to say Watersound East. You do have a bit of a difference. I'm sorry, not Watersound East, 30A East. So you've got quite a bit of stretch. So we have 30A West and then we have 30A East, okay? And on 30A East, it's a little bit more high prices. It's a bit more luxurious. We've got, you know, Alice Beach and Rosemary Beach, Inlet Beach, where we are currently. So we just see a little bit higher prices on this side, but let's see what we are seeing in the market. I took some notes. I didn't want to forget anything. So currently, just right now, we have 634 houses that are active on the market. Of those houses, the average is 4.5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 3,224 square feet with an original list price. That doesn't mean that's what it's at right now, but an original list price of $3.4 million. They have been on the market for an average of 164 days. I'm going to tell you why that's important here in a minute. Now, if we compare that to what has actually sold in the past 90 days, we have 140 properties that sold in the past 90 days. They were on average also 4.5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, but a little bit smaller square footage, 3,064 square feet, with an original list price of $2.97. The original list price on average was $2.97. Our current Well, our current original list price is 3.4. So we see a bit of an increase there. The actual sold price on average was 2.78 million, and they were on the market for 158 days. They also sold for about 96% of what they were originally listed on the market for. So they were listed lower and they sold faster because, like I said, 158 days versus 164 days. So that would tell me that prices have gone up a bit. We're seeing a mixed bag of sellers right now. We're seeing some sellers that are like, just get it gone. I want this property gone. I want to move on with my life to whatever that might be. But then we also have the sellers that are like, I don't care. I don't need to sell. If I was going to sell, this is the number I would need to get to actually sell. And they throw it up on the market and they don't care if it sits for years. They're like, I will either get this number or I'll just keep it. Not a big deal. So if you're entering the market as a serious buyer and you're looking for a place that you want to live, just know prices are a little bit higher right now, and we've got sellers on both ends of the spectrum. So there are going to be some very motivated sellers out there that are going to say, yes, okay, take it. But there are also going to be some sellers out there that are like, no, not for a penny less. And they're going to negotiate very, very, strictly. So just kind of keep that in mind as far as where we're at in the market right now. And for sellers, it's good to know that you also, play a role in what happens with your property, because you control the terms and conditions of the showings and the sale, hopefully based off of your realtor's advice. Neither of us control the location. The seller controls what the property looks like, and really the only thing the agents can control is the exposure of the property. So all of the marketing, which is what I'm here doing today. So I thank you, Sharisa Kabaho. This is her listing. She's with 1% List and is fantastic. She's a friend of mine, another God-fearing woman. Just love her to death and love, showcasing her listings when I've already showcased mine and I run out. Happy to share the love. And if you're an agent watching this and you have a listing that's sitting stagnant and you need it to get a little bit of love, please reach out to me. I am happy to come do a YouTube video on it. So let's talk about some other things too. So I get a lot of folks from YouTube. I would say at least 50% of my business comes from these YouTube videos. So that being said, yes, I'm a real person. Yes, I want you to call me. All of my contact information is on the screen. You can call, text, email, find me on Facebook, whatever it is. I love hearing from you guys. It's when folks find me from Facebook, they're like, oh yeah, I already know you. So we're good. And it's just a very smooth transaction. So let's talk about some of the questions that I tend to get for folks that are moving here from a different area. Yes, we get hurricanes. Yes, flood insurance is a thing. What do you need to know about those things? For one thing, I would much rather deal with a hurricane than I would with a tornado or an earthquake. At least with a hurricane, I know a week in advance. So I might not know a week in advance whether or not I'm going to leave the area, but I know in a week in advance something is coming and I need to be paying attention to it, as opposed to, hey, grab something or run into the cellar, which we don't have here in our area. We have notice. So there are absolutely ways to protect your property. And most of our properties are built to such a degree that they're meant to withstand hurricanes. And there are some additional things that you can do. You can put sandbags by the doors and by the garages. You can get these accordion style window and door covers, hurricane impact glass. There are all kinds of things that you can do to make your property more weather resistant. And so it's not like, oh my gosh, a hurricane comes and you just expect to lose your entire house. That's not really how it works. Should you stay during a hurricane? For me, I have a 7-year-old daughter and I have a dog. So I don't want to be in a situation where we're running out of food, we don't have clean water, we're dying of the heat and humidity because we don't have electricity, we're running out of toilet paper, all of these things that tend to happen after a big hurricane. Telephone lines are down, nobody can get a hold of you, there's no internet, so you've got none of these things and no way to entertain yourself. It's just not a great situation to be in. So for me, anything that's a Cat 2 or higher, I'm gonna board at the house and I'm just gonna leave. I'm not gonna deal with it. And it's not because we wouldn't be safe in the house necessarily, it's just there's no reason to be there through the inconvenience of everything that comes along with the hurricane. I would much rather be out of the way, vacationing for a week in, you know, an Airbnb where nothing is going on, and I'll come back to the area once the professionals have come through, gotten the electricity back on, gotten the phones back up, gotten the internet back up, gotten the roads cleared. You know, there's food again, Waffle House opened back up. That's the telltale sign. If Waffle House closes, you know you better get out of there because Waffle House doesn't ever close. All right. But yeah, you just leave. We do get some tornadoes around here once in a while, and you'll get the alarm on your phone. You like run into the bathroom, spend the night in your master bedroom closet, you know, turn it into a little fort. It's not something that happens all the time, but mostly we get water spouts, and they'll be out in the water and they dissipate before they even hit land. But we do occasionally get some tornadoes as well. But the biggest thing is definitely the hurricanes, and you can mitigate the risk quite a bit. Now, when it comes to flood, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I was just like hearing stuff in the background. I'm the only person in this house. Good thing I'm recording. So, flood insurance. Flood insurance is only going to be required in any floodplain that is below X, so anything AE and lower. But most of the time we can avoid that by just sticking to X floodplains. If you were to purchase a property that required flood insurance, we absolutely have vendors that can provide flood insurance. On my team, we are professionals and we work with professionals. We have professional title company, lender, insurance folks, roofers. We know the best of the best, and we only work with the best because we want our clients to be well taken care of. It's not about, you know, oh, well, let's scratch somebody's back or anything like that. As soon as someone shows that they're not going to treat our clients well, we move on and find somebody else. So we do have a list of professionals to share with you when you contact us and you want to talk about different types of insurance. No, we do not have a problem with getting insurance for our clients here in Florida on the Emerald Coast. And I wanted to touch on the fact that we are here on the Emerald Coast means that if there was a hurricane coming and you wanted to get out of the way, it's so easy. You can just drive west or north, and that's it. The possibilities are endless. Whereas if we were in, say, Miami, it would take you like 9 hours just to leave the state. So you have to decide a whole lot sooner if you're in a more southern part of the state, if you want to evacuate from something that's bubbling up in the Gulf. So that's one of the best advantages that we have in our area, is the ease of evacuation that we actually have. Hopefully a bunch of this information was actually helpful to you guys, and I hear from you soon. Go ahead and comment down below if you're still with me what you felt was the most helpful bit of information. And if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and ding the bell so that you get notified every time I do another video. And go ahead and check out the next one right over here. And I'll see you all later.